But you don't need to stop talking.
No, keep talking.
Okay.
So you know what you're saying is being streamed live to YouTube.
To thousands of people, or maybe two.
The 8 o'clock show tonight.
Go to. Yay, too.
Use the 8 o'clock show tonight.
Pam and Kate are doing Dirty Vanilla Box.
Oh
And tomorrow night we'll be doing improvised mockumentary.
Oh, hey, how was scripted, unscripted?
It was good. We had, for whatever reason, we had a lot of technical trouble. At least for me, everybody except for Pam was having freezing, jittering sound issue stuff. So.
Oh, that's tough.
But it was pretty fun, nevertheless. But yeah. Hi, Indra.
Indra.
Hi, everybody.
What you got tonight? Is that yogurt? What you?
Oh, yeah,
You know you're not missing much. It's nothing like ice cream.
Oh, I think those are pretty good.
Yeah, they're cold. They're cold and they're sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're even a little creamy.
Yeah, they're not bad. I'm not really complaining.
I prefer, though, in terms of a vegan frozen dairy treat, non-dairy treat, I love the coconut bliss.
Yeah, it's good.
I've never tried that.
Oh.
Ooh.
The Ben and Jerry's, I think they do a mix of almond and coconut for their non-dairy. That's really good.
Good for them.
Good tips.
Do they put chocolate in it like a Mounds bar or a, what do they call it? An Almond Joy?
They have 4 flavors of non-dairy, so they run the gamut.
So is their base soy?
No, it's not soy. It's a mix of almond and coconut milk.
Oh.
I think.
Oh.
Or maybe it's just all, I can't remember, but it's not soy because I can't do soy dairy. It gives me trouble. I'm like allergic to soy only when it's used to make a dairy product.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allergic, but I just keep downing these dairy pills. So.
Oh yeah.
There's something going on.
You're Mediterranean is what you are.
Oh, and that they don't do the dairy so much.
Yeah, I think it's a trait.
And
not everybody's that way.
We're all Mediterranean if we go back far enough.
I suppose. Or, yeah.
Yes,
I shave my middle eyebrow.
I see Joe's here. Now, there's just missing Lynn. So we'll get started, everyone.
Hey.
Cool.
And I'll just
bye, Scott.
Bye. I'll be here watching from the shadows.
Don't go anywhere, Scott. We have plenty of room. Plenty of room.
I don't have any honesty to share with you people.
No, but please don't leave.
I'm not leaving.
I know that. I'm just saying we've got plenty of room on a screen. We've got.
Oh, you want me to stay here for now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've got we got room for another face at least. All right, friends, let me just review. So this is the Hello You virtual open mic streaming live right now on YouTube, which is very exciting. And we're gonna have, I've got the hat, and I've got the names that I will show you soon. Everybody's got the 5 minutes. And one of these days, someone's gonna make me use the 5-minute, 30-second rule. Maybe it's tonight. But if you get the 5 minutes to pass the 5-minute, 30-second rule, you will be your spotlight removed and your mic muted. Oh, the chat, don't forget, open the chat, people. I hadn't opened the chat yet. Open your chat, hover over.
I was gonna say.
Speak bubble. Wait, Holly Ruderman, I hear you. I hear you, Holly.
I muted her, don't worry. And I'll take care of the muting for all of you as well. So if it's not there right away, just give it a second. I'm on it, I promise.
Okay. And then, oh yeah, so use the chat. Don't forget to use the chat to say what you're loving or clap at the end, because everybody is going to be muted so that we don't have that jittery audio problem. I think that's it. Guys, I have nothing to share with you tonight other than it's always nice to see you. And I'd said this in the email to everybody, but you know, having these little squares, it's like we're turning into the Valley's Hollywood squares. Nice. Right now, tonight, Sandy D'Amato's in my center square. You are my, who was that? Who was the comedian? Unmute, Sandy, yeah, who?
Charlie
was it?
Weaver.
That was long ago, but then who was the second?
Oh, Richard
one?
Dawson, I think.
No, not Richard Dawson, Richard,
Paul Lind.
Paul Lynn.
Paul Lynn. That's it. That's who I'm thinking of. Paul Lynn, you're my Paul Lynn. That's
Can you
when I
take it
tuned in.
Princeton?
Hollywood Square. What's that?
No, can you take it Princeton?
What's
It's just for, that's the old, never mind. It's an old quiz show.
Oh, okay.
You know, schools fighting.
Oh my God, Joe Capino, you've got to look up Paul Lynn. You've got to look up, oh my God, well, just go to YouTube and search all like episodes of Hollywood Squares starting in like the 60s.
70s Hollywood
They
Squares.
were, yeah, 60s, 70s. They would drink. They'd have their martinis with them in the square. They would get up and walk to different squares. Like it was mayhem.
It's amazing.
Oh, it's the best. So, but yeah, it's just like we have our own Hollywood Squares going. I love it. And otherwise, time has no meaning to me anymore. That was the only thing I have to share. I just never know what day it is. Never know. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And which is nice, I guess. I mean, it's privilege. Many sides to privilege. All right, gang. So here's who's going in the hat tonight. Julie Cavaco, Angie D'Amato, Sandy D'Amato, Jenny Davies, Joe Capino, if she shows up, Lynn Simons, and Indra Tracy, friends. So let's shake it up, shake up the hat with Peter Flynn Sr. And I will pull out. Scott, please turn the spotlight on to Sandy D'Amato. Center square. Sandy.
Paul Lind, yes.
That's right. Tickled pink to be here.
Okay, there's, if you've been watching, there's something going on out there. I don't know if you've seen the light outside. With almost no traffic, industry, or people, the clarity and pureness of light has turned this beautiful valley into I think like a cinematic vision. Everything's growing like crazy, and the co-stars of this nature movie, they have to be the animals. Both my wife, Angie, and I we're city folk, having grown up in a downtown urban center, so that spotting more than one cardinal in a day is it's like a trip to the zoo. During the winter, we watched 3 baby squirrels come out of the tree on our second floor. And as they grew, only one of them survived. And we, in our minds, we adopted him, Timmy. He would hang out daily near our side door. So every other squirrel that we would pass while walking around Hatfield just became Timmy, out discovering the town. Down the road, there's an elegant white Clydesdale-sized horse that I named Carl. Right up the road from us. He always looks over, and when we pass by, so I thought, well, maybe I should bring him a large carrot. So this huge aristocratic equine, he saunters over, and I offer him the carrot, expecting him to take a few bites and slowly savor the carrot. But he snags it out of my hand, the whole thing. But instead of downing it like a dog, he chews and chews and chews until there's an explosion of orange foam all over his lips and cheeks. Now I understand the term eaten like a horse. Close up, I can see his old eyes, and he reminds me of myself. You know, at a certain age, you seem to lose feeling on your face and start looking like a toddler with errant pieces of food stuck to your chin and cheeks after eating. Well, Angie and I usually walk or bike together, but it seems that the times I go out alone, Hatfield turns into the African Serengeti. Like last winter when I passed a couple of horses who threw themselves on their back in the snow and they were waving their hoofs in the sky and they're forming snow angels. I couldn't wait to get home, and I tell Angie and she says, sure, when I'm with you, nothing happens. Last week, I biked up the road and I deposited a carrot in Carl's open mouth. Then a few blocks later, there were two donkeys sitting on someone's front lawn just braying at each other. This is a great ride. Angie's not going to like missing this one. Then I make a loop and I'm picking up speed going down Bridge Street. And in the distance, I see Timmy. As I get closer, I realize this guy is way too big to even joke about him being Timmy. He's about the size of a badger with jacked loins like a kangaroo. He's sitting up and staring at me, not in shock. I mean, it's defiance. And I swerve around him, stop and turn back, and I look at him and he turns around and just is staring me down. And I look over on the side and his friend is sitting on the curb, just watching the whole encounter. All he needed was a box of popcorn in his paws to finish up the whole picture. I move on, I'm a little bit shaken up. And I think, this isn't normal. So I'm riding and I turn the corner and I see a Rottweiler all perked up in front of this house. And as I pass, I immediately think of two things. The first one is feel no fear. As dogs can tell. As I see his eyes and his bared teeth, I'm thinking, this isn't working. Second, a pro rider once told me to yell loudly, stay, if a dog starts to chase you. Well, he takes off and I speed up and he's gaining on me as he nears the lot line. Now I'm praying, electric fence. Please let there be an electric fence. He crosses the lot line. I start screaming, stay, stay, stay. It's not working. And then I hear, Ruffles, get back here. Sorry, he broke his leash. Wait, Ruffles? Ruffles? How about death nail or destruction? And 3 blocks from home and past Carl again, he trots to the fence and gives me a, He still has an orange ring around his mouth. I hurtle into our driveway, put the bike in the garage and fast walk into the house, still looking behind me. Angie's contently reading on the couch, looks up and says, so how was your ride? Thanks, everyone.
Woohoo! Sandy D'Amato, everyone. With just the best imitation of a Clydesdale I've ever seen, Sandy. That was really impressive. That was really impressive. That was wonderful. Thank you for that tour through Hatfield and Timmy. That's our cat's name, funny thing, who likes to eat squirrels. Yeah. I missed Timmy. What do I want to say? Oh, I had an interesting experience that Angie will never believe happened to me. I was leaving the Big Y in Northampton. I'm pulling around. I'd just gone to the formerly known as Dave's. It's now like Smithland Supply or something. So I'm leaving. I'm taking the turn so that the lawn and the grassy area of the parking lot is right there. There are 5 chickens just there, like pecking away, roaming freely on the grass that abuts Route 5 and the highway. Head scratcher. Quarantine, they're got to get out too, I guess. But they're in a group of 5, which I think is too much. Too much. All right, friends. Next, please, Scott, have the spotlight turn to, oh, look, Julie Cavaco, ladies and gentlemen, Julie Cavaco.
All right. I'm trying. Hello. So I was visiting my brother the other day, 6 feet apart. Hadn't seen him for a while, and we were chatting, and I don't know how we got into the conversation of holidays, but we ended up talking about Christmas. And one of the reasons is because we were talking about technology and things like that. So we're sitting there talking, and I don't know how it came up, but we started out like we had a very reserved Christmas. We got pajamas from my grandparents, and we got I don't even remember what I got for presents. We always had roast beef for a Christmas dinner. We had fish the night before. We always got our Christmas tree on Christmas Eve. My dad would get out of work. We might grew up in the Boston area. We might go into Harvard Square and go shopping for last minute gifts. And then we would decorate the tree before bed, and then we'd come down, and it would be, Christmas morning. Very reserved. You open up your stocking, and then you ate breakfast, and then you open your gifts and you hand it out one at a time. So when I married my husband, his family had like the entire, toy store in their living room, and they were just surrounded with toys. And I'm like, I don't want that for my kids. I wanted something reserved. I was even all set to like not talk about Santa Claus. Santa Claus was almost going to be like a moot point in my house, but I lost that battle. And so we had to have a Santa Claus. So being the good Virgo I am, I said, okay, well, Santa Claus is going to give a stocking, and he's going to give one prize. And so we had this one gift. We unwrapped gifts. So the kids would go down in the morning, and they'd get their Santa prize or gift, and then they would go to their stocking, and they'd take out their nuts, and they'd take out their oranges, and they would take out their underwear and socks and different things like that. Big exciting stocking, right? And then we just went about that way. So when my daughter was 6, she was in 1st grade, she said to me, Mom, you got to tell me the truth about Santa Claus. I believe in the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy, but I just don't know about Santa Claus. How does he get the reindeer to fly? And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm much more attached to Santa Claus than I ever was before. I was like, oh my God, she's only 6. I'm like, what do I do? I said, you really want to know the truth? And she said, yes. And so what I did is I said, okay, like I sort of winged it. I didn't have any plans here. Who would expect a 6-year-old to say that? And so I said to her, well, a long time ago over in Europe, there was Saint Nicholas, Santa Claus, and he gave gifts to the children who maybe didn't have families or didn't have any gifts to celebrate the birth of baby Jesus. And well, that was so long ago that he's no longer living. And so parents and grandparents have taken that on, and we honor the spirit of Santa Claus by giving this gift. And she started crying, I started crying, and she was like mad at me for years. Even now, I think she's well into adulthood, and she's like, why did you tell me? And I'm like, well, I just did because all of a sudden, you asked me, and I promised I would never lie to you. So I went through that, and then 3 years, 4 years, well, I should say much later, my son, we're walking around, we're coming out of the Holyoke Mall in the Target, and this was probably in about 2001. So PlayStation was coming out, and everybody was getting one, but I wasn't going to be spending the $350 on a PlayStation. So he came out, he's going on 10, and he says, I wonder if Santa will give me a PlayStation. I wonder if I'm going to get a PlayStation for Christmas. And I said, and I'm so sick of this discussion because it's happening all the time. It's all about PlayStation. It's all we talk about. I said, Andy, who do you think is going to give you a PlayStation? He looks at me, this sweet, angelic, not even 10-year-old boy. And he says, Santa Claus. And I'm like, do you really believe in Santa Claus? I had like the bitch meter up to here. And he goes, no. And he broke into tears. And I was really sort of heartbroken to have the whole Santa Claus done with, but we got to go on to Sanity after that. And Christmas still remains no fun in my family. So that's it for me tonight. Take care.
That is a great closer, Julie. Christmas remains no fun at the Kavaka house. Yeah, Santa's tough. Santa's tough. We still have it
Yeah.
going on in our house. And they get asked about it. But I never gave up. I never questioned it. I never questioned it. I was writing letters to Santa in 8th grade because I knew what was really going on. So I was like, I'm not wrecking this. This is a great gig. And I think my parents really enjoyed it. My dad knocked over one year, he knocked over the fire screen and had boot footprints walk through the ash to the tree back and forth. I was like, this is super cool. So we'll see how long it lasts at our house. But thank you for our taking a little tooled through the Kavako traditions. All right, friends. Our next, Scott, ready? Next spotlight.
Ready.
What's it say? Jenny Davies, ladies and gentlemen. Jenny Davies.
It's a Monday, and I'm on my way home from work. And when I open the back door, the whole house smells like bacon. And I find my husband in the kitchen, and he's very carefully arranging pieces of bacon in a pan on top of the stove. And it's not any ordinary bacon. It's brown sugar encrusted bacon. I'm talking thick sliced slab bacon. And it's wrapped in butcher paper like it just came from the meat counter. It had been a really busy weekend and we hadn't gotten to the grocery store. So I was really grateful that he had gone to the grocery store and there he was making dinner for the two of us. And I thanked him. And he said, well, I didn't get everything that we needed at the grocery store. I didn't get turkey for your lunches. I say, that's okay. I'll stop at the grocery store on my way home from the gym. So I change into my gym clothes and the two of us sit down and we eat those beautiful bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches. And then I'm off to the gym. My regular exercise class is canceled. And so I'm basically tortured for an hour doing step aerobics, which I thought they did away with in the 90s. And partway through the routine, I have to get rid of my step because I don't have the energy to keep getting up on that step. We do a little bit of strength training and some stretching, and then I'm out of there and on my way to the grocery store. I walk in through the produce department and I'm thinking, I didn't see any fruit when I walked in the house. So I picked up a watermelon and some oranges and some strawberries and blueberries. Now, my husband and I have totally different ideas about grocery shopping. He's really satisfied with bacon and bread. One time, a few years ago, I tried a new recipe for potato salad. It was potato salad with watercress. I was all excited. And I eagerly asked him, what did you think? He looked at me and said, too many weeds. Anyway, I walked down to the deli and I pick the number 0 at the deli. It's the end of the day and the deli crew is going to be able to start fresh at number 1 the next morning. I get some turkey and some cheese and a package of whole wheat rolls. And as I'm walking away, there's a woman from my exercise class. And we smile at each other and say hi. And I'm on to the meat department where I pick up a package of ground bison because we like to have burgers during the week and we think bison is healthier. Anyway, I start to walk away and there's another woman from my gym. And I'm thinking, wow, we have more in common than I would have thought. I go down to the dairy section and I pick out the yogurt that I like, which is Siggy's because it doesn't have a lot of sugar. And I get kefir because I like oatmeal with kefir, and I'm not lactose intolerant. Anyway, I go to the checkout and they have a new stock of reusable bags with Tom Brady's picture on the bag. So I pick up 2 of those. And when I get home, my husband helps me to unpack the groceries, and the whole house still smells like bacon. And as I'm settling in at the end of the evening, thinking about what was it that brought me joy that day, I'm thinking about bacon and bread and Brady. Thank you.
There she is, Jenny Davies, ladies and gentlemen. Jenny Davies. My mouth is set on bacon. Tracy from last week. That was awesome. Thank you so much. The B triplet triumvirate of bacon. What was it? Bacon, what, and Brady?
Bacon, bread, and Brady.
Bread and Brady. Yeah, that was good. All right. Thank you from Jenny Davies. We are going to Joe Capinos. He said he would be right back. There he is. All right.
Sorry about messaging you, Kelsey. I didn't realize that like I was still in private chat. I'm like, well, this looks really weird. I'm like, ugh, step aerobics. And Kelsey's probably like, why the hell are you sending me this? Like,
Good. I got it. I do it.
I realized I never checked that little tab thing where it's like, oh, you're sending a message. Like I do this all the time in Zoom where I'm just sending people like messages that are supposed to go to everyone. And then they'll like come back to me and be like, why are you saying this to me? And I'm like, I'm not trying to, bro. Like, I'm sorry, like technology. I know I'm supposed to be like, oh, you're young. Like you should be able to get technology. That doesn't matter. Good God. I have so many things I want to talk about in general. None of them connect in any way. So this may sound like just incoherent jargon. And that's just where we're at right now. So I've been unfortunately watching a little bit too much Netflix. Recently I've gotten hooked and I've gotten stuck in some of these series. And I just finished Waco. Has anybody seen? I'm going to put it on speaker so I can see everybody. Show of hands. Anybody seen Waco? No, nobody's seen Waco. People, do yourself a favor. Oh my goodness. I mean, I know it's a touchy subject. It's kind of weird. It's culty. David Koresh, people die. It sucks. But man, this is not the story that I heard the first time I heard about it. And earlier when quarantine started, I watched something on Ted Kaczynski. I'm doing a little too much on the people who are way out in the left fringe of society, like David Koresh and, Ted Kaczynski. I already look like both of them in some way. So this does not bode well for me. But I'm just saying, I think it's fantastic. I thought it was a wonderful show. I want to suggest it because I don't know, man. I don't trust the government as much as I did 2 hours ago. I'll tell you that. That's also why I was late to this whole thing, because I was sitting here watching Waco. So speaking of movie stuff, I need to clarify, or I guess qualify, whatever. I am a bit of a hopeless romantic when it comes to movies. I love my rom-coms. I love romance movies, period. I'm a big softie at heart, even though I look like a drug dealer. I'm a big softie at heart, okay? And I found the perfect Corona love story. And it has nothing to do with Corona, but everything to do with Corona, okay? It's called 5 Feet Apart. Somebody mentioned 6 feet apart. Was that you, Julie, earlier? I'm pointing over here because that's where on my screen. Did you say 6 feet apart? Because it triggered my memory, and I was like, it's not 6 feet, it's 5 feet. There's a very good reason why it's 5 feet. So I was really high the other day, surprise, and I wrote this down. So I'm just going to read it and I'll ramble about it afterwards. But I watched the perfect romance movie for coronavirus quarantine, okay? It's called 5 Feet Apart, and the two love characters have cystic fibrosis and have to stay 6 feet apart. Where we heard that before? The movie's called 5 Feet Apart because love doesn't mind breaking a few rules. Mm, mm. And they're edgy, angsty teens, so they're going to break rules anyway. The thing I loved about this movie was that if you were to just swap out cystic fibrosis with COVID-19, the entire movie still makes sense. Everything about it makes perfect. They have to wear masks. They have to wear PPE and gloves. They can't cough near each other because then that passes their super contamination onto people. It's absolutely crazy. So the dialogue still makes sense for anybody who finds themselves in a quarantine courtship, which I don't think that may be anybody here, but hey, if it happens, it happens. The characters are all sick and in a hospital and they can't breathe. Got it. Corona. Our main hero has cystic fibrosis. It's like COVID-19, but his is a little bit worse than regular cystic fibrosis. So it's like Corona COVID-20. Okay. And you can't come back from COVID-20. That's just too much. That's extra. So basically, I'm going to wrap it up because I know I just got that late. So the whole thing that I took away from this movie was I love these characters. I bonded with these characters and I wanted to be these characters. Okay. So I'm sitting there, man, if I'm stuck in quarantine, maybe I need to go into the hospital so that I can find my true love, just like these two children did. And I'll find the woman who takes my breath away. Horrible, horrible pun. It's COVID, it's sickness. We got to laugh at it because if you don't laugh at it, you're going to be scared of it. So anyways, watch Waco and 5 Feet Apart if you have nothing to do. And thank you, Kelsey. I appreciate it.
Joe Capino, ladies and gentlemen, with, if nothing else, a great film recommendation, 5 Feet Apart.
Oh, quality.
Who are any names of the stars?
They're just, I don't even know who the hell they are, which is what makes me even like it even more. But there's a doctor from the old show ER. I don't know if you guys remember ER. I used to watch it on TNT. She's like the doctor in this. Surprise, she's a doctor.
It's Julianne Margulies.
Yeah.
Curly-haired one.
Is she Indian? Because it's the Indian woman who was in ER. I swear to God, I'm not losing my mind.
After I watched it. No, that's not Julianne.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
get to the bottom of it.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
all
you.
Waco, 5 Feet Apart. People are talking about Ozark. I'm just throwing that in as another
Also
one.
quality.
Love it. But where are we going? We're going now to Indra Tracy, ladies and gentlemen. Indra Tracy.
I'm not going to cover the screen today, but I'm not going to look either. I'm just going to read off my work in progress here. So left to my own devices, on any given day, I can generate umpteen complaints, gripes, beefs, kvetches, laments. You get the picture. They flow at the rate of like warm honey, and they leave a sticky mess behind. If it's raining when I wake up, boom, there's one right out of the starting gate. If I open my bedroom door to the scent of a fresh cat poop, that's 2. If I get downstairs before the coffee's ready, there's 3, just like that. Now, after I've cleaned the cat box, I've had my coffee, I can move on, but I don't completely forget about it because every grievance leaves like some residue behind. The judge can rule to strike it from the record, but the jury already heard it. And the lawyers are already busy collecting evidence to argue the case, which is life is a struggle versus life is an adventure. Now, coffee and poop aren't exactly damning proof. If you were to assign a value or a weight to them, they'd barely be a couple of ounces apiece, which is nothing, right? Unless you're weighing cocaine, and then it's significant. So your metric makes a big difference and stuff adds up. Okay, moving on. If the next thing I do in my day after coffee is I get into my car and it won't start, that is equivalent to 10 pounds right immediately. If I then check my mailbox and there's several bills in there, that's another 5 pounds. It's not even noon and I've accumulated an extra 15 pounds that I'm lugging around with me. And the lawyers on the life sucks side are salivating. And by the way, there is a whole team of them. They have an unlimited budget and they are motivated by winning only. So they play a zero-sum game. So here I am like Sisyphus, I'm pushing this rock up the hill day after day. And by the month and the year, it really leads to depression and futility. Not to mention exhaustion from the stupid debate. So I tried daily to unload this weight. And to do this, I head down to the Agency of Attitude Adjustment, specifically the grievance department. There's two branches. One is for everyday complaints and one is for age-related complaints. They're really easy to find. Most towns have one on every corner. It's always the first floor. There's no stairs. You can just roll right off your couch and you're there. It is best if you pack a lunch because it can take a while. You may see your friends and family. Some folks like make a whole day of it. Also bring a book or something to pass the time because the conversation is banal at best. The person to your right is complaining about COVID, to your left, the economy, in front of you about the rain, and the guy behind you is hollering for all three of them to shut up. And worse is that the clerks are very grumpy, but you can't really blame them, what with fielding complaints all day. So be thorough when you're constructing your list so you don't have to come back. Just get it all out. You can include the 4 whiners around you. You can include the grumpy clerk, maybe not the clerk, but there's plenty of material right there. You can add another 20 pounds while you wait. So then you submit your list to the teller, unload the rock, and before you've walked out the door, you will feel noticeably lighter. When you're done, if you're feeling really ambitious, you can head up to the 5th floor, which is the gratitude department. There is no elevator, so it takes effort. You have to really want to get there, but it's worth it. It's beautiful. There's nice music. The chairs are comfortable, and the conversation is very uplifting. The person on your right is grateful for not being sick. The person to your left is happy about the stimulus check. The person in front is happy that the farmers are getting the rain that they need. And what's better is that the tellers are absolutely cheery, what with fielding gratitudes all day. And a really cool thing is that for every gratitude you register, you end up with 2, like buy one, get one free. And they give you coupons and stickers. You just end up feeling good about life. Now, in case you haven't noticed or figured out rather, I am both the plaintiff and the defendant. And there is only one rookie lawyer on the life is an adventure side. But being fresh out of law school, he's full of energy, he's eager to make a name for himself, and he's motivated by a sense of justice. So he's going to work tirelessly, but he needs me to give him the raw material to work with. So the more time I spend appreciating my blessings, the longer my list of gratitudes is, the more ammunition I give this little underdog so he can win my case. So now fast forward, a week later, I've finished my coffee and I'm headed to the mailbox and there's a letter from the grievance department. I open it up. They have deemed that 17 out of 20 of my grievances are not legitimate, but they have left 4, there's 4 remaining grievances that they think are bona fide. And you're gonna have to wait and hear about them in 2 weeks because that's as far as I got.
And Indra Tracy, ladies and gentlemen. Woo-hoo! Thank you.
Thank you.
For all of your thought, Indra.
I have so many of them.
I know. Well, you have lawyers. I have Olympic judges.
Uh-huh.
Oh, she missed that
A
one.
2.
That's gonna cost her. All right, we're gonna wrap up tonight's show. Please welcome to the Hello You virtual stage, Angie D'Amato.
Oh, hey, hello there. I have a little song for you tonight, another oldie, written by Pete Seeger. Remember Where Have All the Flowers Gone? That one was covered by Mamas and Papas, among other people. But it was actually written in 1955, so it goes way back. And it kind of, I'm gonna sing a little song to that melody to tell you how I'm feeling today. What's going on in here? So, where did all the noises go? Long time, let me start over. Where did all the noises go? Long time passing. I swear I hear the asparagus grow as spring breezes glow. Even the traffic is quiet as a mouse from the new lower speed limit near my house. Big thoughts on a slow burn. When should I feed that fern? Where did all my hormones go? Long time passing, non-essential ovaries, on permanent furlough. Skin so dry, no moisture left, and male pattern baldness, last time I checked. When will this court adjourn? Growing old has no return. Where did all my brain cells go? Long time passing, can't remember shit no more. Head's full of snow, but I like bourbon, so I don't care. It makes me dance in my underwear. When will I ever learn? The fun I've had, I've earned. Where did all my manners go? Long time passing. Bug up my nose, do a farmer blow, then let one go. Eat like a badger, don't change for a week. I know my hair's dirty, but I'm still not a freak. When will we ever learn? Doing what I want, it's my turn. Where did stress and distraction go? Long time passing. I feel calm, know where to go. Is this a joke? My thoughts are in focus and perfectly clear. I'm me for the first time, without any fear. Less shaken and more stirred. I'll just stand still and learn. The fire inside still burns. Have a good one. Good Memorial Day, everybody. Thanks, Happy Valley. Thanks, Kelsey.
Yay! Angie D'Amato, another brilliant musical tour from our friend. Thank you. I hope you're all down and keeping them. And then when we can come together, we'll give you a big musical showcase. And
Yay.
Scott, bring me back. Spotlight it.
Oh, you want spotlight?
Yes.
Before I spotlight you, Kelsey, I have to say, Jeff B in the chat on YouTube said Parminder Nagra is the woman from ER.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. Is that?
Yes, Jeff. Yes.
That guy, he knows a lot. He knows a lot. All right, court adjourned right after Indra Tracy's piece. That was rather kismet, I would say. Mind. We're all group mind. But that's it. Yes, I hope you all have a wonderful 3-day weekend, but really time means nothing anymore. So, but enjoy the passing of it and staying present with yourself and the people you're sharing this time with. And we'll be back here in another 2 weeks, which is, don't tell me, June 5th. June 5th.
June 5th.
In the meantime, get ready because at 8 o'clock it's the Dirty Vanilla Box with Pam Victor and Kate Jobson. So you can have a double header. But I love you guys. Nice to see you all.
Good to see you
Good to see you
too.
too. Thanks, Kelsey.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.